Well, how's everybody's evening going? I've been contemplating my last few days on StreamYard. These con artists, like you see right here, I need something. This same con artist, Robin, aka the prof, you remember when he told you guys he knew the nexus between the drug ring other than Kristen Kenny? He had shit. Not a damn thing on Casey Conwell. He couldn't see it. He couldn't even show you the threat. Say, oh, I'm going to expose Casey. I'm going to expose CJ. I'm going to expose CJ. He, just like you see right here, was dependent on me dropping it, knowing if him and others that have been con artists, getting you guys to buy their memberships, doing their donations, giving them money. It's why I'm not able to do StreamYard. They're pushing the narrative back to their page where they can fill their own fucking wallets with everything I know. I have down to my FBI informant files. A lot of this I have right now, I can show you. But it's the fucking reason I'm not going to be able to fucking be on StreamYard, do lives like I've been doing. Because a little con artist like him. And I can show you the messages like, hey, I had a quick question. He fucking ghosted me for fucking months. And then, oh, when it's convenient, oh, hey, I need you to tell me everything you fucking know where I can go fucking turn it on my page, just like Joe Lewis, and pay me, buy my memberships, do this, do that. So I'm really contemplating, should I show the exact con artist ways? Him, like Frank Meister, Trust Me, Matt Sullivan, oh, I'm a private investigator. Should I show you the ones pushing the narrative going back to only their pages? Pay them for all their hard fucking work? Or shall I show you exactly who they're pushing you away from, the narrative to push away from my page so they can make a fucking buck? It's not these killers coming after them, like Tyler French, Alan Harold Tinker, planning business to come see me. Now is it? These child fucking killers, ones involved with Karina's, including Alan, are coming after me. So I'm trying to decide. My last few days on StreamYard doing these lives, where should I? And that's one reason I don't have this up. It never happened. So I'm like, I don't push it like they do. It's not been ever about the money, what's in it for me, what I can get, like each and every single one of them. I barely have this up because 9 times out of 10, nothing ever comes. I've never been about me, what I can get, what's in it for me, like they do. Oh, let's see what I can get from him. Everything he knows, if I can turn it, knowing he only gets 200-300 views, I can make 1,000-2,000 views off of, aka their hard work. And it's just shameful when they're trying to say that they're here for victims injustice, but yet you're going to use a federal victim of this drug ring and these killers wanting to come see and take me out as their own hard work. It just goes to show you. Give me 2 seconds. But yeah, it's just one thing that makes me sick is they're getting all these memberships, all these donations, and praise to, oh my God, you're a saint. You know everything. When look, time after time after time again, I've been a dumbass and opened my damn mouth, gave them what they need, but then I got smart. Let's see if he really does have anything on Casey Conwell, CJ, like he said he did. Week after week, day after day, could not back himself up. Not one lick other than, oh, Kristen Kinney, somebody he named. Couldn't see it. Couldn't back himself up. Not one time. He put the words out there acting like he knew all. But when it came down to it, he couldn't get it from me to use it to attack CJ with. So I sat on it and was like, why should I give that to him? We can go make thousands of views, get more memberships, get more donations on his hundreds of hours of hard work. It's just, I'm not one to bitch and complain, but I've got the last few days. And with, if you can ask anybody, StreamYard, just for one seat, it's now at $40. To get multiple seats, it's now over $80 with StreamYard. They've price hiked it extremely up. So a few bucks with only disability, it was doable. But here lately, it's like, it's getting to the point of, holy crap. And I'm getting only a few hundred views. And you want to know why? They're pushing the narrative back to their pages. Like they know all. But this show is right here. This shows you. Like Robin Boudreaux, aka the prof, coming and begging me everything I knew. He didn't even know any connection with Blaine Nelson back to that drug ring other than what I've got. I've got the text with Blaine. He's spilling a lot more than he ever did on Sonny Justice's page, which is Money Sonny. And you got ones like Aspen Connor dropping his cocksucker, which I hope to God he chokes on a fucking dick and croaks, saying I'm attacking somebody that's fucking innocent, but yet they're the same person. While I was an active FBI informant turned federal witness, that turned me into a federal victim when being active of both of those in Karina's case. And I have other people saying, oh, he only turned FBI informant after Karina. Hell no. I was an FBI informant years before Karina. Years. I know who and what I was when I stopped to help her. It was in the back of my mind, knowing if an emergency arises, I can get a federal response to me right then and there, knowing damn well if I called him after hours, after business hours, and he knew to pick up. He's told me that. Michael Curtis, my handler. After hours, if you call me and I answer the phone and you say it's a 911, there's an emergency, something's going to happen. Unlike picking up the phone like anybody else would do, call dispatch, get somebody dispatched out, I was under orders for the years I was an active FBI informant. Any interactions, if I got stopped, if I got questioned, anything like that, I had to let him know. Then I had to seek permission, just like you seen in 2018, go talk to KPD, go talk to the locals. I had to wait till I had permission. Otherwise, Karina, Delphi, anything I knew was to go to him and the FBI. For what? For them to sit on it? Then when I did go to other agencies, federally, DEA, Department of Justice, the Homeland Security, begging to save American lives, prevent further victims that him and the FBI was allowing, I just thought it was kind of sickening. There was a certain individual just earlier on his life, yet again, brought up Larry Nassar and the FBI incident. I did a video, and before he did his live 2 days after mine, before he goes into Larry Nassar, that whole incident, listen close on Joe Lewis's live. I sat and watched a video. I listened to what this guy was saying. I looked, I listened. Then I figured I'd bring it back and reverb it to my people so I can fill my wallet. I can get the donations. I can get the praise that I was such a good boy doing all the work. I think it's funny. You're not even from the United States, let alone from Indiana, let alone local Kokomo, Delphi. They're only about 20, 25 minutes away from each other. It's the same Kokomo where Greeno is living, not Delphi. They're no better than the con artists they're attacking, reverbing the information they're getting from me as their own work. And they're conning you guys to pay me. It's all my work. I've been hundreds of hours doing this. It's all my work. Like I said, it's not these killers like Alan Tinker, which his roommate, Curtis Beck, was a long time for years FBI suspect. Why? He's a wannabe fucking white supremacist Aryan Brotherhood. He's a punk ass little bitch. And I've noticed it takes these little inbred dillers and killers, they've got to work as a group. Because not one of them have the fucking balls to do it alone. They've got to work with others. And how is this Odinism nexus when it comes to murdering for this drug ring? Look at Christopher Mattis, Matthis, the co-defendant that helped Derek Kurtz, the serial killer, Ashley Garth. Her dad can say what the fuck he wants. He's helped her in that drug ring get ammonia from his work where he was a main manager at Prince William Road 100 South. Derek Sherman, the ammonia theft with Justin Prater, 40 feet away from that location, you've got Gabrielis manufacturing a meth. Liggett responding. I've said over and over again, look towards that drug ring. The same drug ring that Indiana State Police, the locals like KPD, Carroll County, I can physically show you texts, recorded conversations, emails, and like I did in 2018, they were trying to tell me I should not be a credible witness, just like they're trying to do with Todd Click, the one person that barely wanted to listen to me, barely wanted to see anything I had, was only going after Brad Holder and the select few, the narrow mindset they had. Then I've had people like Phoenix, Adrian, Dark Arts with Adrian, or Enlight the Dark with Adrian, Dan, Blue-Eyed Trucker, Greeno, Casey Conwell, saying I'm mentally fucking retarded. Each and every single one of their mouths, it came out of that my PTSD that I got when I was a child, sexual predator survivor, for what the fuck happened to me 4 years of my life. I'm mentally retarded. And not one of them, I called them out, not one of them. Do you see any of them that are saying they're there for child victims and justice? Have you seen Adrian own up to what she did in July? Have you seen Bean own up to what the fuck he did and attack me with for what happened to me when I was a child? Have you seen one of them that say they're for children and their justice? These children, they grow up just like the 40 child exploitation victims that KPD and Indiana State Police, including one of those in 2018 in Miami County, post out of Indiana State Police. One of those 40 children, child exploitation cases that you're hearing ISP and KPD and the locals saying because of manpower, because of funding, it's one detective, one case at a time. And some of these children, some of these cases don't want to be solved, is their mindset. And they're trying to tell me that child exploitation, which is a federal crime, is only a state and local issue. And when I confronted them, if you don't have the manpower, you don't have the funding, then why the hell are you not asking for federal help? No, that was, if you listen close, about it, both of their mouths. No, their egos, their paychecks, letting 40 child exploitation cases sitting cold on their desk because of their manpower, their funding, but yet they have to keep it on their desk, no matter how cold those cases get, because of their egos, because of the corruption, the sexual trafficking within this ring. You've got Nicholas McClellan, his own family, Blaine McClellan, Dilling, and was partners with Derek back in 2014. Look up the rate of Blaine McClellan, the female with him. Look up the date and time. Derek Sherman, the female with him, 2014. They were raided simultaneously at the same time. And you should go to tell me these drug task force, both Indiana State Police, locals, county, locals like Carroll, Delphi, Kokomo, surrounding areas, making these cases and the retaliation that goes on. And it's happened, just like Nicole Bowen. She was going to roll not on the drugs. She was going to roll on the murders, especially the children murders. Just like Jeremy Patterson, just like Blaine Nelson. They were silenced by this drug ring and the Good Old Boys Club helping them cover it up. They took Blaine Nelson's cell phone under the guise of they're going to get who sold him it was supposed to be fentanyl, but it was more horse trank. And the one person that his mother gave the permission to show his toxicology, that shows up anywhere else, she will take legal action. That was to be me, Michael Phillips with Hunting Evil True Crime. I was the sole individual that got Blaine Nelson's toxicology and was given the sole permission to let that be shown. If you look hard enough, it's on the community wall. And if you look up the amount of fentanyl, it was microscopic. The horse trank was over 90%, if not more. Horse trank, very little drug. That horse trank, when it is injected, like how he did it with a rig, it was a guaranteed. You will not be waking up from this. You will be silenced. He was murdered for starting to speak the truth about the very drug ring and the Good Old Boys Club. Hell, there's a politician right now talking all about the Good Old Boys Club, like Angie Rowe, sleeping with politicians to keep moving up the ladder. Hell, she owns her own real estate company now. But there's a politician running for like Howard County right now. I'm starting to get a little bit more out of her. But boy, who would imagine, like the girls, all 6 girls, school resource officer, Richard Allen Ferguson, why he still has his Facebook open, all those friends that he's calling corrupt politicians, Carroll County, Howard County, look at any political position, that's where the corruption sits. The Good Old Boys Club that even Bouts belong to. It's not my words. I'll re-show it yet again. I've got more conversations that he had with somebody. They were sent to me. By all means. Who did he have to serve and why? No trespassing papers. Wasn't allowed on property where these little girls were going to school. Just like Judge Fouts, it was all a sexual reason. Harassment of a female employee, asking for nudes and harassing, pretty much demanding nudes from this female employee until she had to get an order stopping it. And with that protective and no contact order, it includes you're not allowed around her place of work. Not my words, but you see Richard's own words. Who he himself, the school resource officer, had to serve no trespassing papers on who? No better than Judge Fouts. That Good Old Boys Club. That same Good Old Boys Club that their family's dealing with this drug ring. And many of them, if you look up, I've hinted where to look, like State Board of Audits. There's more than investigations, evidence going missing out of Delphi for years. There was tons of money going unaccounted for. The Board of Audit's been asking questions and demanding they start being more accountable with the money. And audit after audit after audit, they're finding thousands and thousands going unaccounted for. Just like when Carl Kuntz was murdered. He had $2,500, $2,500 in cash and an evidence bag in his squad truck. His squad SUV, there was $2,500 sitting in evidence bag in his squad vehicle, still to this day has been unaccounted for. There's individuals in and around this drug ring saying Howard County, other elected officials, badges, coming and demanding hush money. How do you think they got a cite charge on the individual? They came earlier that day. It was hush money. Pay up or else. Oh, you got a syringe right there? We'll be back later. Oh, yeah. The streets talk. You find a hell of a lot out. More than you ever get from these corrupt pieces of shit. Then, right there again, Richard Allen Ferguson. He was talking about a jailbreak over in Howard County. Talk about corruption. Nobody was ever charged. Nobody ever got in trouble for the jailbreak. Just like the 2 cartel drug houses right there in Delphi. He even knew about. If he knew about that drug ring, the cartel drug ring that some of the kids that were going to his school, their parents were involved in, then you can't tell me state and locals, the ones making the cases, the drug task force, both ISP, Howard County, Carroll County, surrounding counties. If the school resource officer knew about this cartel drug ring being in town and active, then you cannot tell me they don't know about the retaliation and the actions that some, when they busted one, give us your supplier, your dealer, the one supplying you for less time. And no way around it. When you have a informant turned witness making your case, and it could be years after those cases, knowing the suspects, the vengeance, vendetta would go on if it wasn't taking the informant turned witness life themselves, their children, over 20 times now, lives. You can't tell me you don't know about the retaliation. You can't tell me you do not know the suspects and the who, what, when, where, and why they would want to retaliate. The multiple years they were given, the money, the drugs that were lost. Give me a second. Gotta get my gun out. What the fuck? Why are you stopping? Yeah, I've been having some weird shit the last couple nights. Give me a second. The fuck are you doing? Okay, whatever. I'm not even fucking. I got that on my lap. I'm good. And Indy Cindy, it's the same name you see right here at gmail.com. Huntingeviltruecrime at gmail.com. But one thing I am going to try like hell to do, why I still have the StreamYard, is I found the one cell phone I do need. And I thought it was just one crack. I figured I might be able to put like clear tape over and be able to open that cell phone up. I found out it has about 3 different cracks in 3 different areas. And with it being touchscreen, it's got a lot of the conversations without having to get into cell data and the hard way of doing things, like the Sprint phone that I had. It was in my ex's name. It took me like hell to finally get the legal write off from them to be able to access it with my legal team. A lot of that sits only with my legal team. I don't have access to it. But this cell phone, it's a gold mine. It's the one that I had during Karina McClurkin's. It's the same one that I had and was still using. Beside the Sprint phone I just started using, a lot of that, the who, what, when, where, and why, months long investigation that had the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force up there in Delphi, it sits in this broken phone right here. And boy, is it a gold mine. So yeah, I'm in the process of looking in to getting a replacement screen, getting the broken screen out. Hope to God I don't get like shards of glass on my fingers. Like that's how bad the screen is. I dropped it and then it being in my drawer or dropping it, it's got a couple more cracks. So it's got shards of glass like right now in it. So I get this screen replaced. Boy, do I got the gold mine. And when that gold mine is unleashed and I'm opening it, I'm going to be able to screenshot the full conversations. You've seen some of them, like the February 5th, 2017, the February 15th being paid. Here, I got some dead presidents for you. Further on in those messages, you'll see, hurry up, I need to get back to Delphi. Hurry up. Among others. I've got partial conversations. It's back when it only had one crack and I was still kind of somewhat able to move around on that cell phone. I was able to save some of these conversations. That's why you see some of them I've been showing, like the February 15th, me getting paid, 2017, on his way back up to Delphi. And you only see partial of, okay, I'll go ahead and write this up. He's said this for years. Yes, years. For over 2 years after Karina McClurkins kept saying he was going to come, get me on record, just, how do you call it, dispose or pretty much get my written and verbal, like pretty much a full interview, other than documenting it and putting in my mathhew files like he was going to get everything. And if he would have done that right after Karina McClurkin's case, Delphi was presentable. The same suspects that were involved in Karina McClurkin's case went on to do Delphi, was involved with Flora, Logan Sport Fires, Daniel Heights death, among others. And I'm going to be upfront with you. 2020, when this drug ring went to go do a murder hit, fulfill a murder hit on my family, once they where, what town, what county, that was my blood family. Direct. That was my second cousin you were going after. You didn't get her, but you got somebody she loved. And that new murder hit that's sitting down to my third cousin, a toddler, his grandparents, his mother, they know about it, state and local. The ones that murdered the loved one of my second cousin, while they were behind bars, they were actually making calls, chirps, like that. That's what it's called, chirp, like text messaging and stuff like that, using their money on their books. It's fine. We'll make you suffer more. We'll go after even the toddler just to make you suffer more. And like I said, you don't think the Drug Task Force, Indiana State Police, the locals, these idiots, they don't know the retaliation and why they would be acting? Hell, how do you think Garrett Kurtz? It was leaked back to that drug ring by corrupt pieces of shit. Nicole Bowen went trying to do the right thing, and a corrupt piece of shit leaked it back to that drug ring, and then Garrett Kurtz, Ashley Garth, got the order. Silence her or it's you. Just like Gabe Ellis and the others. Kill or be killed. Silence the leak or the Good Old Boys Club. Well, make sure to make it look like a fucking accident. There's a close family friend of mine, Kokomo. If you're going to wake up early in the morning and put a bullet in your skull with a handgun, would you ever keep your CPAP, the machine that keeps you breathing, keeps you alive, if you plan to take your own life that morning without even getting up out of bed? It was like he was killed in his sleep. The CPAP was still running when his mother found him. There was money and there was guns missing. He didn't loan out. They were missing from his house. Do you know what it looks like when a elderly mother of a man close to his 45, 50 is up there crying in front of everybody in a funeral, saying her son did not do this? Everybody in the family, out of what was missing out of that house, the amount of money, the amount of guns that were missing, unaccounted for. And not only that, he had the wrist brace that he sleeps with and the CPAP machine that keeps him alive, keeps him breathing in his sleep. If you're going to off yourself, why would you keep something on your face that keeps you alive and still running like you were asleep? But the coroner's office made sure to Oh, self-inflicted. Nothing to see here. Just like Mia Rails. I won't say who in her family said, but look the amount of time she was missing until she was found. Riddle me, how does a cell phone keep charge? Full charge. And yes, there was days when it was below freezing. If anybody knows and you've had your cell phone out in the cold for an extended period of time, warm, cold, in the rain, but KPD was able to just walk up. Oh, we found her cell phone laying not too far from her. Up, it opened right up at full charge. What the fuck's the chances? How about riddle me this? There's an open beer can. Like that was what she used to take the meds to overdose with. And marijuana sitting right next to her. Neither one was in the toxicology. Riddle me that. A stage crime scene, a cell phone that was over a month out in the elements, right behind a trailer park. Nobody seen nothing. Then the stage scene. Oh, they took their life. Oops, nothing to look at, nothing to see here. There's a doctor, one side of the family. He looked at the toxicology. He's like, this is not making sense. The amount they're trying to say they OD'd with, there's no damn way. And what meds those were in the system, and that what percentage of their blood levels, it could be yaw drowsy, kind of screw you up a little bit to the point of causing death. A family doctor that was a doctor inside the family looked at the toxicology and was like, this shit's not making any sense. There's no damn way. There's some of the family saying, oh, something isn't right here. She was the third, not the first, not the second, the third. And I'm waiting for this girl to make sure she's 18 because her and her mom ties back to Gabe Ellis and this drug ring are left and right. But she was the third one that just got done breaking up with this girl. Not the first, not the second, but right after, the third going missing and found dead. Just like the four bodies, the three females, the one male, Paige Turley's baby daddy was the one male, the last one to overdose at Gabe Ellis's house. He had four bodies already at his feet. Corinna McClurkin makes five that he sexually trafficked. And it was at a hand of a firefighter. Her own mother gave me the name Ricky. It was at his hands when he paid to go again, choked her to death. Then Gabe Ellis's jailhouse confessions. Oh, Richard Allen's jailhouse confessions. They're using something like a conversation with Flint, pinning it on Richard and Flint, letting Gabe Ellis and this drug ring walk. The same drug ring that families were dealing for, their family friends, the multiple murder suspects, multiple victims, these child victims, families sit longtime friends and still friends with to this day. Nothing to see here with over 6 individuals going back to these children victims, families being friends of theirs. But there's nothing to see here. And you bring that up. Oh my God, you're attacking the family. No, you're supposed to look towards them. They're the first ones that's supposed to be looked at and ruled out. None of them have been ruled out. Carter made a mistake ruling one individual out when the drugs that are being used in that, like, pushed out of that house, makes me sick when you hear some of the locals, what they're telling you about. a certain house and the traffic going in and out of that house, it's sick. And I have, like Cindy, I've actually gotten smart when it comes to that. Uh, Sister in uniform, she's not even from here. I won't say what state. She's got everything I've got. Everything. So anything happens to me, I got more than one in more than one state that has everything I have. And I mean everything. So something happens to me, it's like a death switch. It drops one way or the other. And like I've said, I'm giving them a week. And I'm talking with my legal counsel, and even they agree. I think a week. We'll give them probably a week and a half at max to act on these drug dealers turned killers. The retaliation that cost over 20 children their lives. Above all, if they get 20 children justice and individuals like Gabe Ellis in this drug ring, look at Deputy Pickett. They got his killer turned dealer, the dealer turned killer that killed him. They used that new 2018 law. Dealers, when their drugs are connected to murders, well, I would say murders, which is they're trying to do it as overdoses. They can be charged with murder. Give me a second, I gotta get a drink. But if they could do that dealer turn killer, his supplier, his dealer, multiple other dealers charged with murder in Deputy Pickett's case because he's a badge, you mean to tell me the retaliation on the informant turned witness making your drug task force cases, you mean to tell me you can't do everything you did for a deputy, for a child, let alone 20 children in the troubled community? It wasn't their dealing. It wasn't their drugs in the house. This meth and other narcotics being in their houses near these babies. It was their family members and then their like uncles like Delwood. Riddle me this. The family business has to go on just like business as usual for the same drug ring that killed their family. Delwood. Look up who he is to Liberty German. 2021. Meth bust. The family business had to go on like business as usual. Then when was the gag order placed? So why is Harley Babcock threatening me? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, and why am I talking about her family? Why is she violating a gag order, Harley Babcock? Trying to threaten me and shut me up? Why'd you violate a gag order and come after me? Another federal living victim. I've had more than one attempt in my life, and I've got more being promised here soon. On my community wall, one thing I want you guys to do, if she still works, Jessica, Tyler French's fiance, it was her page that pray for this disabled piece of shit. And I hope to God he gets what's coming to them one day here soon. Her fiance or husband, wherever the fuck that inbred little child killer is, Tyler Joe French, he knows where I live. And I plan to see you one day here soon. And you can't run and hide behind the screen when I come. Just like these other inbred fucking killers. They don't want to act alone. It's going to be a group of them that's now coming. And then Alan Tinker just last week showing his face again. Now he's out. How about each and every single one of us make a certain call down to Putnamville, uh, Pulaski County, where he's now got a trafficking with an inmate charge. He's got a bracelet on his leg right now. How about the federal tampering with a witness victim? Ones that they know because who and what I am, what I've got, even their buddy that helped him kill Jeremy Patterson, helped them set that up so he could kill Jeremy Patterson before he could roll. Alan Tinker was leaked information. I wonder from who? The same drug task force and the same detectives and other ones within the local PD that tipped Garrett Kurtz off that Nicole Bowen was going to roll. The Good Old Boys Club, the corrupt politicians, the ones making millions, money laundering, the real estate, the fake businesses like Daniel Metz, METZ. Look up Daniel Metz, Attorney General, was going after him back in 2021 down in Florida. He was tipped off federally because it was a federal raid coming at him for his false businesses, the money laundering. He took that money, him and his two partners ran right back home where he was a longtime biller and made a perfect 501c3, the Kokomo City of First Rehab Center. The more they get, the more that ring gets hooked, the more money that rehab makes, and the more money that can flow and get money laundered back to that ring and clean it through that rehab. Look up some of these. You can look up the business partners of his, like Mark McCann, the sitting prosecutor, Howard County, sitting business partners with him and other dealers and other kingpins in that same cartel drug ring. There's other politicians. And if you really want to start looking deep, what appraisal companies was helping certain individuals inflate the cost of properties from just like what $50,000 to $80,000 to it's easily appraised $130,000, $140,000 now. So you can turn that for a major profit. What appraisal companies was helping these certain individuals in the real estate? The number one way the cartels money laundering. Look it up nationally. Then how does a captain like Kevin Summers, which is friends him and his son and family, look up the 2018 Dillers? Find all their social media pages. What's Kevin Summers, a captain of KPD? Was starting to flip houses and partners with dealers in that drug ring, flipping houses, $50,000 here, $80,000 here, full renovations, all cash out of pocket as a captain with KBD. Just like Greg Goodnight, Shane Evans, sitting mayors. The long-time family friendships, their own friendships within this drug ring. Look at the elected politicians like Nick, Nita Duff, William Duff, Blaine McClellan, William Duff. They're all friends. Just like Christy Lynn Martin, the one that took the charges in place of Gabe when a certain father rolled on Gabe. Took the charges in his place so he could keep out and get his vengeance. Then make this make sense. What are dealers? Partners of Liberty German's dad, like Blaine McClellan, 2014 dealing, and was picked up, raided the same day, same time as his partner? What are dealers like that, one after another? Look up Liberty German's friends list that's still open, why it's still open, until you have like Toby Garth doing what he did with Ashley Garth's friends list and her Facebook, made sure to wipe that down and take it down. Why it's still open? What are dealer after dealer after dealer, partners of her families, doing on a 14-year-old baby's friends list? Harley Babcock, look up Trevor Tooley, her family. What are all these dealers and ones in around this drug ring doing on a baby's Facebook page? Riddle me that. Make that make sense. One after the other. Then some of these witnesses and some of the ones that they went to school with now, look at their existing record. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Look at some of like Max Snowberger's charges, among others. Got right into the family business. But nothing to see here. Like Jennifer Barnes Dean and Corey Dean. The last two moments right before that fire started, the last two. You remember, she only got paid $20 in the, what was it, 2020 murder of a black man for $120. He lost his life, and she only got paid $20 for her role and her assistance in his murder. How much meth? How much money? The four little angels' lives. How much was it worth, Jennifer? Then you know what's really sick? And I've seen this a lot. Like Sierra Daly, she couldn't be with Big Daddy. She had to have somebody. I'm pretty sure she got pregnant by Gabe Ellis. And in order to hide that pregnancy, his biological son has just enough DNA that matches his dad. So if he wants to play daddy, she couldn't be with Big Daddy because Big Daddy's in prison. So he's in prison. So she wants to be with Little Daddy, his son. These inbred fucking trailer trash, they sure like keeping it in the family, just like Corey Dean. If you didn't know this yet, Corey Dean, after Jennifer Barnes got picked up for murder, he divorced her and married her daughter. Like I said, these inbred trailer trash little pieces of shit, they sure like to keep it in the family. The big ones, the older ones, go in prison. So, let's start porking. Let's get with the, let's keep it in the family. And then you've got ones like Jennifer Barnes, Ashley Garth, longtime family friends with Anna, Terry, Brad German. You've got multiple dealers, ones in around this drug ring, turned killers, and then some just the small minute amount of $20 to help assist in a murder. That's how little these meth out little inbred bucks. That's all they need. A few bucks. The next hit, the next fix. And some of you want to be blown away before they take these down, before they hide this. 18 days after the girl's murder. Look up Elijah, Elijah, Cook, Kigan. That's where Keegan's trying to use Kigan. Kiegan, Callis, Callis. Look what's in Elijah Cook's hand. If you look up in the Book of Troth, that every February 16th for years, Kyle Stacy, he's got like 4 or 5 Facebook profiles. If you look up Kyle Stacy's reliving every February 16th, the Book of Troth, the February 18th post, you picked the wrong day to fuck with pretty much them. Hell, tier, Tyr, the same tier that Brad Holder and Amber Holder was still recruiting for the Tears Hellhounds, Norse and Pagan, Indiana Kindred in 2018. The same Kindred, they used that book, the Book of Troth, Troth, and if you Google admin, find the free PDF file. The same ceremonial sword that you see the girl's blood dried and is starting to rust on that ceremonial sword. Now, the ones in this right here, I want you guys to tell me yes or no. Yes or no. They have said, documented on the record, there was two bladed weapons used in Abby and Libby's murders. Not one, two. One was a serrated blade. They don't know the other make or what kind, but there was two weapons used, bladed. These sick, inbred pieces of shit, they were reliving it. They were taunting. Right after, when was Richard Allen picked up? Right after, in October, Kyle Stacy went as far as not just reliving it, but showing you who they killed. They're wanting to be the next Manson call. That's exactly what they want. And ones like Prof openly admitting, just like Rick, whenever Julie Melvin comes into their chats, it's protect Julie Melvin at all costs. Well, I just talked to Westerman's attorney, and if Julie Melvin, which is continuing the leak of the crime scene photos, and you've got Prof Robin openly admitting it when a certain only member of mine asked them, "What are those sticks of that you're posting in your community wall?" Oh, I was asked by Julie Melvin, do I want the crime scene pictures just to prove that Rick Snay was lying, and he did send them to her. The continued leak. Well, Westerman's attorney has got all that. The in writ, and then her own words. So if Westerman's going to get charged, why not the other ones that are continuing the leak, doing exactly what this drug ring, these killers, they want? They want. I'll repeat this. They want their work seen. Julie is doing exactly what they want. Here, anybody that wants it, talk to your buddy. This content creator, ask them. I sent it this way. I sent it to this person. I'm glad I fucking stopped talking to that life altering fucking, she's a fucking leech just to make her name. For her fame, and look at me. I got smart from day one when it came to that bitch to cut ties and run. Keep my distance from her. You are no better than these child killers of Abby and Libby when all you've done is show their work to whoever wants it. Then you got some that actually openly admitted who they got it from and why they sent it to ones like Robin. Then goes on to make money off of it. Look at me, look at this. But yeah, Westerman's attorney. So yeah, if they're going to continue charging Westerman for the leak, why not the continued leak that's still going on to this very day, this very second, by the help of Julie Melvin and others? So if you want to continue to charge my client, how about the state and federal start going after the other ones that are continuing this leak of the exact same crime that he's being charged for? I had a nice little conversation with Michael. Or is it Michael Kyle or Mr. Kyle? I know that. It was for a fact it was Mr. Kyle, the defense attorney out of Franklin. And what I sent him, you've got to be shitting me. Oh, no. Oh, no, I'm not shitting you. If your client's going to get charged, why aren't the rest? Why aren't these other content creators? Oh, look at me. Oh, look at me. Look at me. Look what I got. Hell's coming. If he's going to get charged, every content creator that got sent these, congratulations. You were asked, do you want them? You openly said yes. Your actions have consequences. If Westerman's getting charged, the rest that are continuing this leak up to this second, this day, should go right along with him. Am I wrong? If Westerman's going to get charged for the leak, why isn't anybody else? Same thing his defense attorney is going to bring up, along with Prof's nice little, this is how I got him. This is who sent them to me. Then she went on a live and openly admitted that, yes, I did send them to Prof. Her own words that she continued the leak. Her own words. Westerman's attorney still has right now. So, like, he's going to bring up to the judge and the detectives that are trying to charge his client. If my client's going to get charged with this, the continued leak, you've got individuals admitting who they got it from, who sent it to them, who sent it to other creators. If he's going to get charged, why not they? All hell's coming loose. You wanted your name. Oh, look at me. And you wanted your name in the books. Well, you're going to get charges just like Westerman. Am I wrong? Like, seriously, am I wrong? But am I wrong? If Westerman's going to get charged for the leak, why shouldn't anybody else that's continuing this leak? Made fame. Look at me. I'm taking the stand in the Delphi girl's case. She wanted her name in the books. Well, we're giving these killers what they want. Look at their work. Where am I wrong? If Westerman's charged, why aren't the rest and these content creators that are sharing it amongst their friends? It all comes loose. And all it took was Julie admitting it, bragging, laughing about it. And you've got ones like T saying, oh, it's just a misdemeanor. It's like, who cares? They're not going to do anything. It's not like they're going to do anything about it. And you got content creators making money off of a little girl's naked body being killed. That's what's the more sickening part. All these content creators, all these their friends, their little group, the cult little following, the bloodthirsty cult, seeing a 14-year-old's dead naked body. And then you got Prof admitting that he spent hours blacking it out, staring at that. It makes my stomach turn. For him to go on and laugh like, oh, like nothing. Each and every single one of these individuals that got that sent to them after they were asked, do you want them? You're sick. That is a baby's naked body sitting right there in those pictures that you all are bragging that you know you've seen. That makes my stomach turn. And you think it's a bragging right? It's sick. Oh. But you tell me that every content creator you've seen, all the ones in the comments, even Greeno. Greeno was one of the first ones. Julie broke her neck to give it to. Oh, don't worry. Guess what? Rick sent me. He went in and bragged about. Hell, why did he need those? Because he was there. More than once, he's admitted that he was there. Then, oh, it's been hearsay, but he swears up and down there was a snuff film. I wondered who. And Greeno, you're Mr. Seven Felonies. I'm a little big badass. You're come to Indiana, little boy. When your balls grow big enough and they drop, and you think you're big enough, come meet a man in a wheelchair. I'll be gladly to put your ass in line. You're Seven Felonies. You're a soft little biatch. And just cause, I got a nice little log in the backwoods for you, little boy. I'm gonna make you squeal like a pig. I'm gonna make you squeal, boy. I'm gonna pull a Diddy on your ass. And I guarantee you, like Diddy, the egg challenge, I'm pretty sure you would take a hard boiled egg and not break the egg now, will you? You're used to it now, aren't you? You're teaching CJ all your little tricks. Have you been smacking those cheeks yet, Renee? Because I've asked some of your friends that known you for years. You float both ways. So going to prison, yeah. You bragging about 7 felonies and multiple prison stints. You like Bubba smacking that ass now, don't you? I guarantee in your jail cell you hear every night. Oh, daddy. Oh, Renee likes it. Oh, harder, daddy. Just like you're showing Casey. You're showing him all the tricks, aren't you? How to get multiple felonies, to keep beating on women. Keep it little boy style, y'all. You hear? Keep it unhinged and little boy style. Now, y'all, that's exactly all they are. Instead of keep it southern style, it's keep it unhinged and let's keep it unhinged in little boy style now, y'all. Because all you are little boys. Unhinged little boys. You see, like Indy, it's been going on since 2017. And these content creators, little friends, they don't think that can be tracked down to who shared it with who and where the source of that is. And each one of them get charged just because they're not in Indiana. That can bring them into Indiana. Each and every single one of these content creators and their buddies and their little groups, they got shared these photos. You should be ashamed of yourselves. All you're doing is what these killers want, their work seen. How's that justice and how's that right of these two little angels? When you're gawking at their naked body in those crime scene pictures, you're gawking at them like, oh, oh my God. Looking close, like, oh yeah, I do see that. When you're talking about, is that blood or is that water in their hair? You're looking, staring right at a screen for hours, looking at every detail. These content creators make me sick. Their buddies, the ones in their chat, you make me sick. Then some of the same ones like you see right here, tell me everything you know, what you've got, so I can use it. I can make money and make it all about me. Give me your money. Give me your subs. Give me your memberships. Give me your super chats. They ain't in it for the justice for these kids, let alone the victims. Why else would they be using one? For their own gain. Reverbing everything I've said, anything I've known, trying to use it as hundreds of hours of their own work. It's a lie. They're no better than Greeno at being a con artist. And Indy, I'll go ahead and leave. I'll check your email here in 2 seconds. No, the RICO? The lawsuits, so trust me. I got a few lawsuits in the work. Every dirty little secret. But I'll show you some stuff that I have not released and made content out of. Unlike them, I'm not in it for what's in it for me. What can I get out of it? But yeah, Andy, I'll go ahead and check your email. I'll get back with you. But hey, y'all, remember, Greeno and Casey, keep it little boy and unhinged now, y'all. Yeah. Keep it little boy style, y'all.